Well, now, howdy, folks, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. It's a beautiful day here in Overton County, Tennessee,
Sure is.
and we're fixing to get into something that could truly, light a fire under you, make you feel your absolute best, sharp as a tack, and ready for whatever life throws your way.
That sounds like what everybody's looking for.
Whether you're working the land, heading down to the Livingston Square, or maybe just enjoying a quiet afternoon. We've gathered up a stack of truly fascinating sources today, all about what folks are calling biohacking. Now, don't let that fancy word scare you off, none.
Yeah, it's simpler than it sounds.
Think of it as, well, fine-tuning your own biology right down to your cells so you can live your most vibrant, energetic life. Our mission today, y'all, is to uncover the real secrets to boosting your energy, your confidence, and your overall well-being, straight from the folks who dive deepest into this science.
That's right. We're peeling back the layers, exploring how we can truly optimize our natural systems, our brain chemistry, our hormones, even the tiniest parts of our cells. We'll be separating the wheat from the chaff, so to speak, on some powerful compounds and strategies.
Sounds good.
And as always, we'll keep a keen eye on practical applications for you, our listener, right here in Overton County and beyond, so you can, well, put this knowledge to work.
All right, now let's unpack this with a concept crucial for anyone looking to have more get up and go in their day. Dopamine.
Dopamine, the motivation molecule.
That's it. We're talking about that incredible chemical in your brain that drives your motivation, your confidence, and that deep down desire to get things done, whether it's finally sprucing up the farm or planning that much anticipated fishing trip on Dale Hollow Lake.
Yeah, it's key for that drive.
Now, our sources highlight a compound called Bromantane, also known as ledastin, which hails from Russia. One expert we looked at calls it the single most powerful non-psychedelic he's ever used for his dopamine system.
Wow, that's a strong statement.
Isn't it? He described experiencing hyper-elevated energy, an incredible mood, and feeling very, very confident and positive. He even mentioned a bit of swagger. Now, that sounds pretty remarkable, doesn't it? Tell us, how exactly does this stuff work its magic?
It truly is remarkable. And what's fascinating here is its targeted approach. Instead of just a generic stimulant, like caffeine overload.
Right, not just jitters.
No, Bromantane actually helps your brain make more of its own dopamine, specifically in the prefrontal cortex. That's the part responsible for executive functions. Clear thinking, planning, confidence.
So it's working with your brain.
Exactly. It does this by subtly nudging a specific enzyme, tyrosine hydroxylase, to be more active. So you're not getting an artificial boost, you're empowering your brain's natural system. Our sources noted it's often taken in just a baby dosage, like 10 milligrams.
Just a little bit goes a long way, huh?
Seems so. And unlike something like modafinil, which mainly keeps you awake, Bromantane specifically aims to enhance goal orientation and drive actual behavioral change. Its effects can last a good while, maybe 11 to 12 hours in men, though it can differ a bit in women.
Interesting.
And for those looking to amplify this natural boost, combining it with dopamine precursors like tyrosine and phenylalanine, along with essential B vitamins, well, that can make a real difference. But quality matters. Our experts always stress looking for third-party tested sources, like science.bio was mentioned.
Good to know. That sounds incredibly powerful, almost like you're unlocking your brain's own best version of itself. But, with any powerful tool, you got to understand the limits, the potential downsides. So if we're boosting our dopamine, what are the signs we might be getting too much of a good thing?
That's an excellent question, and it's where balance becomes absolutely key. Our sources definitely warn that if you get too much dopamine, especially if your body overconverts it to norepinephrine.
Which is like adrenaline, right?
Kind of like that, yeah. You can start feeling anxious, restless, or maybe even irritable. It can also reduce what's called inhibitory control, basically. Your brain's brakes, leading to a feeling of being a bit wacky, as one expert put it.
So not ideal.
Not at all. The ideal state, they say, for productivity and feeling socially dominant is often described as having high dopamine. But it needs to be balanced by high GABA for calmness, moderately high acetylcholine for focus, and actually very low serotonin to maintain that forward drive.
So how do you keep that balance?
Well, to mitigate those risks, you can simultaneously boost your natural GABA with supplements like taurine and magnesium. And honestly, a bit of adult supervision, having a trusted friend or partner who knows you're trying this can be invaluable. Someone who can gently say, hey, you seem a little wired today.
Yeah, someone to keep you grounded. Makes sense. It's about finding that sweet spot, isn't it?
Precisely.
And speaking of feeling good and sociable, our sources mention something called cadwaba, a Brazilian happy tea.
Ah, yes, Katwaba.
It's said to have mild dopamine reuptake inhibitory effects, promoting a bit of disinhibition and an outgoing tree of togetherness feeling. I reckon that sounds just about perfect for a community gathering down at maybe the Putnam County Fair, or a friendly visit to Cummins Falls on a warm afternoon.
Sounds like it fits right in. It gives that gentle nudge towards connection.
They also briefly touched on cabergoline as a D2 agonist. What's that about?
Right, cabergoline. It boosts dopamine too, but also suppresses prolactin. Our experts linked this suppression to an overall sense of life force energy, a heightened desire to engage with life's challenges, not just in the bedroom, but in all aspects of your daily endeavors. More get up and go overall.
Gotcha. More than just one thing. Now let's turn our attention to building a strong foundation, especially for our fellas and ladies right here in Overton County. We're digging into hormones now.
A crucial area.
And our sources challenge some, well, long-held beliefs, particularly about DHT or dihydrotestosterone. I know many men I talk to are often concerned about it, maybe because of hair loss talk.
Indeed. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, many men are routinely advised to block DHT because of those very concerns, hair loss or prostate enlargement. However, our experts argue strongly against this.
Really? Why is that?
Well, DHT isn't just a little bit important. It's actually 3 to 10 times more potent than testosterone itself. It's absolutely crucial for maintaining masculine traits, mental drive, confidence, and a healthy libido.
So blocking it is a bad idea.
According to these sources, yes, a very bad idea for most. Blocking it with things like finasteride or saw palmetto, or even consistently high doses of reishi mushroom. It can lead to some significant and unwelcome side effects. We're talking anxiety, low mood, actual sexual dysfunction.
Wow.
And it can even cause your body to convert more testosterone into estrogen, or estradiol, which generally isn't ideal for men's balance. In fact, high-dose reishi mushroom was specifically labeled problematically anti-androgenic, especially if a man already has lower baseline DHT levels. It's a fundamental misunderstanding, these sources say, to fear and block this vital hormone.
So the powerful takeaway here for the fellas is cherish and keep that DHT strong. It's a cornerstone of your vitality. Don't mess with it unnecessarily.
That's the message, loud and clear.
Now, for our strong women out there, especially once you hit, say, around 35 years young, our sources highlight the importance of what they call counter-stress hormones, those precious compounds that keep you feeling resilient and calm when life, as it always does, gets a little hectic.
Absolutely. And what happens around age 35 for women is quite significant, hormonally speaking. They typically see a natural decline in protective hormones like progesterone, pregnenolone, and DHEA.
The good stuff goes down.
Right. Meanwhile, stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, they tend to persist, maybe even rise. This imbalance can severely impact resilience. It's a big factor in challenging perimenopause symptoms like increased anxiety, irritability, maybe trouble sleeping.
Sounds familiar for some folks, I bet.
It really does. The advice from our sources is clear. Measure these hormone levels. Work with a healthcare professional, ideally one versed in bioidentical hormones, to consider supplementing and help maintain the balance you enjoyed in your younger years. Progesterone, for example, is strongly GABAergic.
Meaning it calms you down.
Exactly. It boosts the calming neurotransmitter GABA in your brain, directly helping to offset anxiety. And here's a crucial point often missed. Optimizing your thyroid hormones, especially T3, can actually boost your body's natural progesterone production.
So thyroid health is foundational.
For many women, getting thyroid health right is a foundational first step for overall hormonal balance. And just a quick note for men, since we mentioned estrogen, managing excess estrogen is also key for them. Our sources mention calcium D-glucarate,
Okay.
though they caution too much can lower even the natural estrogen needed for libido. High-dose zinc can help too. But they also caution against high-dose DIM or diindolylmethane, which can sometimes block the androgen receptor, leading to unintended consequences. It's all about balance.
Balance seems to be the word of the day. All right, let's switch gears and dive into the very core of your energy, your mitochondria. Think of these as the tiny little power plants humming inside nearly every one of your cells.
The engines of life.
That's it, keeping you running strong from the moment the sun peeks over the hills till it sets behind Standing Stone State Park. If you're feeling dragged down, especially after a long day working hard on the farm, your mitochondria might just need a little extra love and attention.
They probably do. Modern life is hard on them.
Our sources are positively buzzing about a compound called inositol tris pyrophosphate, or ITPP. One expert describes it as EPO in a capsule. Now, that's a bold claim. Tell us, what's so fascinating about this?
It's an incredible compound, truly. What's fascinating about ITPP is its ability to help your red blood cells release about 35% more oxygen throughout your entire body.
35% more oxygen.
Yeah. Imagine that kind of endurance boost. It's apparently been used in horse racing, which tells you something about performance, and has even been studied for its potential in reducing tumor growth in humans.
So real science behind it. How do people take it?
The expert we studied takes 250 milligrams sublingually. That's under the tongue 3 times a week. He even uses it before stepping into a hyperbaric chamber to maximize oxygen delivery. It essentially mimics the benefits of intermittent hypoxic training, where your body learns to utilize oxygen more efficiently.
Making more energy available for everything.
Exactly. It's also known as OXO111, and studies have shown it can significantly increase maximum exercise capacity, even in mice. This concept of priming our cellular engines is absolutely critical for sustained energy.
Any other ways to prime those engines?
Definitely. Another key compound discussed is oxaloacetate. This acts as a direct mitochondrial primer. Think of it as a jumpstart for your cell's energy factories.
A jump start, I like that.
It helps keep the Krebs cycle, that's our main energy production pathway, the engine room of your cells running smoothly, even if your mitochondria are a bit sluggish or damaged.
And the benefits.
We've seen reported benefits ranging from reversing headaches and migraines to significantly enhancing athletic performance. It's even shown promise in shrinking glioblastoma and aggressive brain cancer by literally fixing mitochondrial function. It truly helps prime the pump for robust cellular energy.
Amazing stuff.
And beyond those, our sources mentioned other notable mitochondrial enhancers, PQQ, or pyrroloquinoline quinone.
Oh,
Though there's a heads up on absorption issues, so best taken on an empty stomach or maybe with a little baking soda.
okay.
CoQ10, of course, D-ribose, acetyl L-carnitine, and even humic and fulvic acids, which you often find in good coffee.
Coffee has mitochondrial helpers.
Apparently so. They also briefly touched on xenon, a noble gas that at low doses can increase red blood cell count, similar to EPO, and it's used for high-altitude preconditioning. So many tools out there to boost our internal engines.
Incredible. Now, folks, we've talked about all the good stuff, all the ways to kick your body into a higher gear. But it's just as important, maybe even more so, to know what might actually be holding you back or even causing harm.
Absolutely. Awareness is key.
Our experts have some strong opinions on widely used supplements and even some healthy foods that might be doing more harm than good for us here in Overton County. What should we watch out for?
Well, this raises an important question about ashwagandha. It's super popular, right? An adaptogen everyone talks about.
Yeah, you see it everywhere.
But our sources strongly caution against its daily long-term use. They believe it can desensitize a specific serotonin receptor, potentially leading to anhedonia.
Anhedonia, what's that?
It's basically a blunted pleasure response, a kind of emotional numbness, much like what some people unfortunately experience with SSRI antidepressants, not feeling the highs of life.
Oh, wow. That doesn't sound good.
No. And it's even been linked, in some reports, to potential liver toxicity, leading to bans in countries like Denmark or Finland. The point is, there are many other effective and safer ways to manage stress, like simple L-theanine, without these potential downsides. And just to quickly reiterate, we heard those strong warnings against high-dose reishi mushroom for its anti-androgenic effects, especially in men.
Good reminders. Now, here's one that might truly surprise folks, especially if you're trying to boost your health and well-being. Collagen protein.
Collagen. Another popular one.
Right. While a good amount, say 15 to 20 grams a day, can certainly be beneficial for joint and skin health, our sources warn that anything consistently over that can actually be dangerous. Why on earth would that be? Sounds like a head-scratcher.
It's a critical point, and one many people overlook because collagen is marketed as so healthy. What's fascinating and concerning is how excess hydroxyproline, that's an amino acid found abundantly in collagen, converts into oxalate in the body.
Oxalate, like in kidney stones.
Exactly like in kidney stones.
Right.
But it's much more than that. Oxalates are these microscopic, razor-sharp calcium crystals. Imagine tiny shards of glass. Our sources say they can literally cut your mitochondrial membranes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, reducing your cellular energy, causing systemic calcification, hardening of tissues, inflammation, and cellular stiffening. All true hallmarks of aging.
And this comes from too much collagen.
From the body having to process too much hydroxyproline from excessive collagen intake? Yes. It's a prevalent issue today because, Get this, many of our so-called superfoods are incredibly high in oxalates too.
Like what? I thought things like spinach were great for you.
Well, spinach is extremely high. Also, almonds, raspberries, kale, even brown rice, walnuts, chocolate, and sweet potatoes are on that list. Our sources point out that the body can only effectively remove about 200 milligrams of oxalate per day.
Only 200 milligrams.
Yeah, but many people unknowingly consume a gram that's 1,000 milligrams or even more, especially with modern diets lacking traditional fermentation, which helps break these down.
Goodness gracious.
And it can take a staggering 18 to 24 months to clear these oxalates from your tissues once they've built up. They can cause a whole host of problems: GI distress, joint pain, skin issues, and like you said, they're the cause of about 70% of kidney stones.
So that healthy green smoothie could be an oxalate bomb.
It absolutely could be, depending on the ingredients. One expert even suggested that a major, often unrecognized benefit of the carnivore diet might simply be the removal of oxalates and other pervasive plant toxins.
What can folks do if they suspect an oxalate issue?
Well, reducing high oxalate foods is step one, and remedies mentioned include abundant lemon juice, like 2 ounces or more a day, maybe for up to 2 years, and potassium citrate. Both can help your body manage and excrete them.
Wow. Lemon juice. Simple enough. That's certainly something to mull over. And finally, a quick word on some other things to approach with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Yeah, our experts called out popular items like apple cider vinegar gummies and athletic greens, basically saying they're either overhyped or very expensive for what they actually deliver, suggesting there are often more effective and cost-efficient ways to achieve similar benefits.
Good to know. Be a savvy consumer.
Exactly. They also mentioned inosine. It offers some neuroprotective and mitochondrial support, which sounds great, but it significantly raises uric acid. One expert got gout after just 3 days of using it.
Ouch. So vigilance is always key. Know what you're taking and why.
Always.
All right, so after all this deep digging and uncovering some truly surprising insights, what does this all mean for you, living your best life right here in Overton County?
Well, I think it means you've got the power, really, to be truly intentional about your well-being.
Take in the reins.
Exactly. Our sources introduce a fascinating concept they call cosmetic neurology.
Cosmetic neurology. What in the world is that?
It's all about consciously and strategically managing your neurotransmitters, those brain chemicals like dopamine and GABA, to create an ideal mental and emotional state for specific activities.
So you can kind of tune your brain for the occasion.
Precisely. Think about it. Just as you'd get ready for a big meeting, or maybe a family reunion down at Center Hill Lake, or even just a regular Tuesday where you need focus, you can actually prepare your brain chemistry.
How would you do that?
For instance, if you're doing some public speaking, you might aim for high dopamine for confidence and high GABA for calm, alongside low glutamate to keep anxiety down. Our expert even crafted what he called a first date protocol, using things like Katwaba to be witty, relaxed, and disinhibited. That tree of togetherness thing again.
A first date protocol, that's something else.
It really allows you to tailor your brain chemistry to the demands and the joys of your life. It's proactive.
I like that. What about sleep? That's always huge.
Crucial. We can't overlook sleep. A beneficial morning cortisol rise is actually important. It wakes you up, helps your immune system, sharpens your mind. A good cup of coffee can certainly help nudge that along.
My morning ritual right there.
But for evening cortisol reduction, which is key for getting that deep restorative super sleep, things like glycine, maybe 3 to 5 grams, or taurine, 3 to 6 grams, can be incredibly helpful before bed.
Glycine and taurine for sleep. Got it.
They also briefly mentioned some more, let's say, experimental things for sleep. Microdosing cyproheptadine, or periactin, at 1 milligram, but with a very important warning. It's anticholinergic, like Benadryl, and that class of drugs has potential links to cognitive decline long-term. So if ever considered, it would need careful counteracting with things like alpha-GPC in eggs.
Okay, so tread very carefully there.
Extremely carefully. And for unique sleep experiences and maybe interesting dreams, some experts explored amanita mushrooms, which aren't classically psychedelic like psilocybin, they're different, traditionally used for cold and seasonal affective disorder. They even shared a fascinating tidbit about asparagus root apparently being used for flying dreams.
Flying dreams. Well, I'll be...
The possibilities are interesting, but always require caution and research.
The bottom line, folks, from all this seems to be personalized biohacking. It's about taking the time to truly understand your own unique biology, maybe through testing, maybe just careful observation, and then experimenting cautiously and intentionally.
That's it exactly. Tools like an organic acids test, or OAT, can give you a snapshot of your neurotransmitter levels and guide that personalized approach.
It's about taking control, not just letting things happen to you. It's about consciously working towards being your best self every single day. For yourself, for your loved ones, and for our wonderful community right here in Overton County.
Well said.
Well now, I reckon that was a mighty fine deep dive into tuning up your own body and mind, wasn't it?
It covered a lot of ground, some really powerful ideas.
We've talked about kicking up your dopamine with Bromantane for that go-getter spirit, keeping your hormones in line with a proper respect for DHT, and fueling your internal powerhouses with ITPP so you can tackle anything, from a long day at the Livingston Farmers Market to a peaceful hike through the Big South Fork.
And importantly, we've also shined a light on things to approach with caution. The potential pitfalls of daily ashwagandha, those hidden dangers of too much collagen, and the pervasive problem of oxalates found in some of our favorite so-called superfoods.
Yeah, gotta watch out for those.
The aim, always, is to empower you with knowledge, so you can make informed decisions for your unique biology, fostering critical thinking about your personal health journey.
Now, here's a thought for you to mull over as you go about your week here in beautiful Overton County. What small, intentional change could you make today armed with this new knowledge that would bring you one step closer to feeling truly, maybe even superhuman, and living your fullest, most vibrant life?
Doesn't have to be big.
No, maybe it's enjoying a cup of that Katwaba tea for a little extra connection, or simply adding a splash more lemon to your water to help keep those oxalates at bay. Your well-being, my friends, is truly in your hands. If this deep dive stirred something in your spirit and you appreciate us bringing these insights right here to our community, please do us a favor. Hit that like button, leave a comment down below with your thoughts or questions, maybe even tell us what local superfood you're now reevaluating after hearing about oxalates.
We'd love to hear from you.
And of course, subscribe so you don't miss another deep dive. It really helps us reach more folks right here in Overton County who are looking to upgrade their lives. And as we close out this session, let us offer a heartfelt prayer for each and every one of you, our neighbors and friends. May your days be filled with abundant energy, clear minds, and a joyful spirit. May you find wisdom in every choice you make, strength in every challenge you face, and peace deep within your hearts. May your bodies be temples of health, strong and resilient, and may you always feel the warmth of our community and the countless blessings of our beautiful Tennessee home. Amen.